At Scranton Memorial Stadium, Valley View used a turnover to get their first score against Scranton High. Sean Castellani intercepts this first period pass at the 39-yard line. Just 3 plays later, it's Nick Semke getting the call. He also gets the outside and gets 15 yards, 6-0 Cougars. Next time Valley View got the ball, a 60-yard march in just 5 plays. Phil Ross gets the last 21 on this dash to the end zone. Cougars are 3-0 after beating Scranton 41-14. Game 2 in Dunmore, the Bucks in Carbondale area scoreless in the second, but Michael Igo takes off on this 31-yard gainer. He goes all the way down to the Chargers' 35-yard line. On the very next play, Brett Trickolo gets the call. He breaks through the front, down the sideline, then check the great move to sidestep the defender. Touchdown and a 7-0 Dunmore lead. Late first half, Carbondale area from their own 33. The pitch is fumbled. Joe Bonowitz is there to fall on it for the Bucks. And on the very next play, Igo with another big run, this time 23 yards as Dunmore blanks Carbondale area 28-0. At Riverside, first play of the third period, it's Gary Beck with the interception of the Scranton prep pass, and he's going to race 45 yards for the touchdown. Riverside took a 21-6 lead over the Cavaliers. Later in the third, prep would get a big break when this pass is picked off by Bob Wojtek, giving the Cavaliers the ball in Vikings territory. Several plays later, Steve Lippett breaks over the left side. He will go all the way for the score, but it was called back by a penalty. Prep would then turn the ball over on downs, and that's how this one ended, 21-6 Vikings. In game number 1, Dunmore spoiled the first ever night game at Lackawanna Trail. They would move 60 yards in their very first possession. The Bucks capped that march with Bob Mancuso's keeper, and they led 7-0 midway through the first period. Trail would drive right downfield on their first possession, but facing 3rd and 10 from the 22, the Lions saw that threat end with the tip pass and the interception. Dunmore would then take that turnover down for their second touchdown of the night. Brett Trickolo from the 3-yard line made it 14-0. Trail did get on the board, going 65 yards in 14 plays. Yogi Roth catching 4 passes for 48 yards in that march. Quarterback John Glenn would finish things off, but Dunmore would finish off Trail tonight and spoil their opening night party. At Scranton Memorial Stadium, it was all Abington Heights. Dave Darmafal's score with 7:46 left in the third gave the Comets a 35-0 lead on West Scranton. After an interception, Andrew Smith would take it over the right side for another score, 41-0 Abington Heights. The Comets would add one more, Smith setting up the final touchdown with this nifty run. He gets the football all the way down to the Invaders' 5-yard line. And then on the first play of the fourth period, it's Kevin Langan on the keeper. Abington stays perfect. They beat West Scranton 47-0. In game number 1, it didn't take Scranton High long to get on the scoreboard. After holding Delaware Valley on their first possession, Tehran Barrios turns on the speed and takes this punt back to the Warriors' 32-yard line. On the very next play, Ken McGowan takes the pitch right. He gets the corner. Nice cut to stay in bounds. 32 yards later, the Knights have a 7-0 lead. The next time Scranton got the ball, they went 46 yards in 8 plays, all on the ground. Barrios again showing speed on the 10-yard scoring run. Scranton evens their record at 3-3 with a 42-12 win over Delaware Valley. At Dunmore, the first half belonged to running back Brett Trickolo. This 32-yard run over the right side would be his 3rd touchdown of the first half, and it gave the Bucks a 21-0 lead over Western Wayne. Next possession, Trickolo would take charge again. He breaks through the Wildcats' defensive front and will pick up 42 yards on this carry. Trickolo with over 200 yards on the ground in the first half alone. And that long run would set up his 4th touchdown of the half. Dunmore running their record to 6-0 with a 42-0 win over Western Wayne. At Riverside, the Vikings scored 3 times in the first period, but then West Scranton clawed their way back. Josh Bullock recovers this 3rd period fumble at the Riverside 18. 2 plays later, fullback Dennis Riesenack would bull his way up the middle, 5 yards, 8.5 minutes to go in the third. It was 19-14. The Invaders held and then went on a 65-yard drive. The key play, Mario Bevilacqua's pass to Mike Jones. This one covers 24 yards to the Riverside 41. Bevilacqua would then cap the march, going 9 yards on the option. West scores 27 straight points to stun Riverside 27-19. We start at Mid-Valley, next door neighbors, Mid-Valley and Dunmore going at it. The Bucks using a couple of big first period plays. Brett Trickolo dashes 29 yards around left end on this play. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first. It was 7-0. The Bucks would get the ball back, and from the 32-yard line, Trickolo would again get the call. He bounces off the center of the pile and then all of a sudden comes out of the pack and into the picture, turning into a foot race to the end zone, which he will win. Dunmore stays perfect with their win tonight over Mid-Valley. At Memorial Stadium in Scranton, Scranton High's B.J. Migliorino takes this handoff 11 yards to the end zone. The Knights were within 6 of West Scranton, 20-14. But the Invaders later in the third period would turn a fumbled punt into insurance. Mario Bevilacqua keeps. He goes around the far end, 9 yards for the score as West beats Scranton 39-28. A battle at Old Forge. The Blue Devils getting almost 250 yards rushing from Keith Van Fleet. This touchdown would tie the game. The two-point conversion gave Old Forge a 16-14 lead over Trail. Midway through the fourth, a fumbled punt gave the Lions great field position. They turned it into this 19-yard score by Richard Jackson, and Lackawanna Trail was back up 20-16. Old Forge would get into Trail territory in the closing moments, but their drive would stall and the Lions hung on for the 4-point victory. At Peckville, Valley View led Riverside 7-0 in the second period, but the Vikings were on the move. Justin Stallbird breaks out of the pile and will pick up 14 yards to the Cougars' 34-yard line. 5 plays later, Stallbird will finish the march. He goes up the middle, 8 yards for the touchdown. Vikings missed the point after. It was 7-6. Valley View answered right back, going 64 yards in 6 plays. Sean Castellani with a big run, a 37-yard pickup. He was finally pulled down at the Riverside 5-yard line. 2 plays later, it's Castellani getting scoring honors. The Cougars pull away in the second half to beat the Vikings 47-6. Dunmore dominated the first half against Old Forge, but the Blue Devils got on the board first in the second half. Ryan Marsica with the pitch. He goes in from 25 yards for the touchdown. Another big night for Bucks running back Brett Trickolo. This 49-yard run in the third period was his 5th touchdown of the game, and it made it a 49-6 ball game. The Bucks would add another late in the fourth period. Sophomore fullback Jason Cuff gets the call on this play. He gets the corner and goes 38 yards all the way down to the Old Forge 5-yard line. 2 plays later, it's Brian Weber on the keeper. Dunmore finishes the regular season unbeaten, 56-12 over Old Forge. Lakeland took a surprising 14-point lead on the Bucks midway through the first period. Sophomore quarterback Evan Crakey keeps. He fights his way through the Dunmore defense and comes out into the open. He'll go all the way 86 yards for the touchdown, and the Chiefs were leading 14-0. But that seemed to wake up the Dunmore offense. They responded with a 13-play drive. This 3rd and 8 pass play, great grab by Jamie Monahan, would give the Bucks a first down at the 5. And on the next play, it's Brett Trickolo over the left side into the end zone, cutting the deficit to 14-7. Lakeland went 3 and out. This time it took the Bucks just 2 plays to score. Robert Mancuso, a perfect pass to Jamie Monahan over the outstretched arm of Crakey. 40 yards tied the game at 14. A fumbled punt led to a Dunmore field goal, and then another deadly turnover for Lakeland. Michael Igo intercepts at the 29-yard line. He'll go all the way for the score. It sent the Bucks sideline into a frenzy. It was 24-14 at half. After Lakeland cut it to 3, Dunmore went on another long drive. This one 12 plays, capped by Mancuso's 4th period sneak. It's 31-21. The Bucks would then put it away with Trickolo's 5-yard scoring run. Dunmore is 12-0 after beating Lakeland 38-21.
Well, we're thrilled. We're very happy for our seniors. But, last year, our boys that played last year for us set the seed. I said they set the seed, and our boys just carried it over this year in our winter weight program and all our jobs, things we had to get done. So we're very fortunate. God has been very good to us.
When they went up 14-0, were you guys concerned?
Yeah, we were a little bit. We've never been down before, but we fought back hard and made some adjustments at half, and what can we say? Fought back hard.
Dunmore now advances to play the winner of the Mount Carmel-Wyalusing game. A 1-yard plunge by Veach to make the final score 22-0. The defending state AA champs are on their way to the Eastern title game.
To shut out a team like Dunmore, we knew they were a fine team coming in with an outstanding back, and they had some nice size up front. But as the year has gone on, we just continued to improve, and that's what I got to admire about these guys. They stuck with it when the times were tough, and as I said, now we're going to Eastern Final and representing the East, so we're excited about that.
Playoff experience helps a lot. Dunmore didn't have that experience, and I think that we kind of had it, and we had the advantage over them. Even though we had 3 losses, the 3 losses are a little bit deceiving.
The loss was Dunmore's first of the year. Mount Carmel advances with their 10th victory against 3 losses.